Hey 4xe fans, it is January 22nd, and I'm going to talk just a little bit about that B9A recall that is issued on the Wrangler 4xe only, not on the Grand Cherokee 4xe, and of course not on. We don't know anything. I'm in America. I'm in the United States, so I don't really keep up with the Compass and the Renegade 4xe in Europe. But those kind of recalls are all different because this is in conjunction with the NHTSA, which is the United States, and it seems to have some impact on Canada too. I don't understand that relationship and how that all works, but as you know, the recall that was issued was like 32,000 some Wrangler 4xes in the United States and another 10,000 some in Canada. So I don't know how that all works. I don't know how that works with the NHTSA, but anyway, the recall's still in effect for everybody but me. Get to that in a second. And that recall means that you can't charge you're not supposed to charge the vehicle, you're not supposed to park it indoors, you're supposed to park it away from buildings, those kind of things. But interestingly enough, out of the 20,000 people in the Jeep 4xe fans Facebook group, I posed the question: has anybody else had a Wrangler 4xe that was on the recall list but then was removed? Because that's my case. That's what's going on with my Jeep. Is it showed in the app, it showed on the NHTSA website, it showed on the Mopar website that I was on the recall list, and then this Jeep's VIN got removed for some reason. And I've gone back and checked all three sources. I've even called with my, I did this a little bit in fun. I called the dealership to schedule an appointment for the recall, knowing full well they wouldn't be able to schedule an appointment. But I called and said, hey, I've got this recall on my Jeep and I need to have it scheduled. And the lady confirmed there that it was not on the recall list. I called Jeep Cares or Jeep Wave, whatever they're called, and asked the question, like, why was mine on the list and then removed? And they had no answer for me. They just said it was removed. And I asked them to put it in writing, which I have printed and I have filed away with all of my 4xe paperwork on the odd chance that something might happen. But I just find it a little discouraging that we don't have any answers as of yet, that we don't have any remedy. We were hoping here in January, but that wasn't what they said. I think they said first quarter, if I recall right, if I'm saying that right. So we were hoping that sometime in January we would get notification of what that fix would be, but as of January 22nd, there is no remedy. And our understanding so far from everything we've been able to read is that this will be some sort of software flash that's looking for some sort of error that would then be indicative of a battery that needs to be replaced. And so the percentage of these, of course, Jeeps and Stellantis isn't going to want to replace a lot of batteries in these things. So that's, they're going to be very cautious about how many they need to replace, but they're also going to be cautious, hopefully, and do this all the right way and make sure they find the Jeeps that have the issues that have led to, I think the official number is 8 fires, but we heard of a 9th through Reddit. There was another one that was posted. I'm assuming, and that was after the announcement came out that was posted, and that it was posted as this is the 9th fire. So there have been at least 8 or 9, and we're just kind of all anxiously awaiting what that fix is. So I down in the comments below, I'd like to hear two things. One, I'd like to hear from if there's anybody else who received the letter in the mail, saw your VIN was on the list of the Jeeps to be recalled on the NHTSA website or on the Mopar website. In some way, shape, or form, you knew your Jeep was on the recall list and then removed. I'd like to hear if there's anybody else that has had that, because I find it odd that I'm not able to find anybody else that has gone through that scenario. And secondly, I'd like to hear your thoughts on what Jeep should do to kind of compensate owners that are going through this right now. And I don't want to seed this too much, but I have an idea that I think Jeep could do that would be very, it would be very inexpensive for them to do, and would benefit the customers greatly, and would likely, in most cases, not cost Jeep a lot of money. And that would be to add some extended warranties to everybody who is on the recall list. Now, if you have a 21 Wrangler, of course, you have a 10-year, 100,000 mile. And if you have a 22 and on Wrangler and Grand Cherokee, you have an 8-year, is it 8-year 100,000 or 8-year 80,000? Now I'm drawing a blank on what that is. I know it's 8 years. I think it's still 100,000 miles. But I would like to hear your thoughts on what you think Jeep could do to maybe offer some compensation by way of an extended warranty that would take it beyond that 100,000 or something. I think Jeep could do that, and I don't think that would cost them a lot of money, and it would go a long way towards at least saying, hey, we get it, we understand, we didn't see this issue. And Jeep had over 1.4 million miles, testing miles on these things, and it's unfortunate that it didn't come up in testing, of course. And who knows if any of the test vehicles actually had this issue, if that batch of batteries or whatever it is that has caused this wasn't present in the test vehicles, but is now shown its ugly head in the field after these things have been released. So, this isn't by any means something that Jeep has done intentionally, and they don't want to see vehicles catch fire. But I do think they could do something just to say, hey, we get it, Mr. and Mrs. Customer. We appreciate you for buying this very expensive Jeep. We appreciate you for pushing the 4xe future forward, for being willing to jump on board with these first generation vehicles. And we would like to offer you this in exchange for the hassle of having to deal with this recall and not being able to charge, and the added gas bill, and the added number of vehicles that get stuck in, go into fuel oil refresh mode because they're not charging, and you're encountering a lot of short engine runs as a result. So I just want to hear your thoughts down below if you think that would be something Jeep should entertain, and is that something that's reasonable to ask? So that's my question for you. Down in the comments below, let me know your thoughts on that. Like, if there's anybody else that has experienced the situation where your Jeep's on the recall list and then taken off. And also, I'd like to hear your thoughts on if you think Jeep should do something else beyond a warranty. What else could Jeep do? They're not going to give us gas cards. We know they're not going to do anything like that. But what do you think Jeep could do that wouldn't cost them a whole bunch, but would be something nice for those owners that are going through this experience? Thanks for watching. Take care.